O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our grand bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
It's
Okay, now it's better, right? Now it's better. Okay, there we go. Good morning, one and all. It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Yes, yes, yes. It is day number 18,922 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,706 since the Canes were national title contenders. And today, day number 1 of Bitcoin over 100K. The streak starts all over again. Damn it. Although it was really good. I really enjoyed it because, buying at 99 and 100 was good. Actually, it was fun to actually take another dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. Got to color TV so I can see the next play basketball. So we're over 103 already. So that's a good thing. So day number 1, we will start a new streak. Eventually, it'll be a permanent one. But we'll see if this was the last washout. And then we take off before everything else. Anyway, welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. Manny Navarro will join us today for a Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report. Normally, he does it on Thursdays, but he's going to join us today instead. So we'll have some fun. We've got the great Sean Stanley joining us, as he's the man that masters the entire platform. So appreciate Mr. Stanley as always. Remember, smash the hell out of the like button. Very important that you smash the like button as always. And you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. The Bills are now favored by 9 instead of 9.5. The over and under is 50. Bills minus 500 on the money line. The Dolphins plus 375. We've got the Heat in action tonight. Denver is favored by 9. I don't know, Sean, but I just did something crazy. I put a couple dollars on the Heat. I took the 9 points. I don't think that they'll win, but I think they'll actually stay competitive. So I figured 9 points for the Heat. Okay. The way they're playing, they got Powell back. They had a day off. If it was a back-to-back, that you'd be concerned about that, but it's not that. They already had that back-to-back actually, and he played on the back end of the back-to-back. So now he's got the day off. So I'm like, I was like, plus 9 is not a bad thing. So I just kind of went for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here. You guys can, blind ass fan alert or something if I deserve it. I'm just as guilty as anybody else to get a blind ass fan alert. But I went with the Heat. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit here early in the season. I'm taking the 9 points. I'm not saying they'll win, but they could. I mean, it's the NBA. It's November. It's not like this is like the key part of the season or something. And the Heat right now are playing, decent basketball right now. So I took the 9, actually. I don't know. Again, I'm not a betting expert, not a financial expert, not financial advice, not investment advice. I don't do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I just just talk gibberish here every day. That's all we do. Gibberish. That's what we like to do every day. A happy hump day to you, Mr. Molina. Gus asking about the suffering Dolphin brothers and sisters. Yep, we all are. Cosa, I see Juan Mendoza. Anthony Campos says, I like the new song you have. It felt like always about to see one of the great 90s shows where the theme song. Well, it's again, it's not a new song. It's the original song. And it was just redone because I had it Steven Carter created it when I was at QAM, and then he re-recorded it for me at 640, but I could not get him to re-record. Unfortunately, the version now that I'm on this platform, so the words have to change, and I rewrote the lyrics to kind of fit the song. And then I found a musician in Mason who is fantastic, and he re-recorded it for me. So it's our original version, but it's been updated for the platform, which is something it's, I thought it would be a little easier to find a musician to record it. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. So what can I tell you? What else do we have? But thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that very much. I see Jeff in Long Island at the top there. Oscar Rojas. Dolphin Dave. What is it? Steve Calabro said yesterday, did you know that Eric Kumero's grandfather was the head of the Chicago outfit, the Mafia, after Capone? Nope, did not. Did not. TJ Superman. Good morning to you, sir. Big Johnson, Skylar Tipton, Luis Notare out in the Jersey Shore, NorCal. And thanks, NorCal, thank you for the music links you sent me, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate you looking out. Alexis, Jamie Zoria in San Jose. Juan Mendoza says, I told my parents to bless their lucky stars in 5 years. They finish off paying off their house because all of the New Yorkers coming down to South Florida, they're going to get a great price. Yes and no, because, it also raises your taxes. It's because as more people come, you sell your house for more money, and the more value that you create, it raises the value for everybody else, but it also raises your property taxes. So and that's also one of the reasons why it's become more expensive. Actually, people are leaving Florida now. So, that will kind of help a little bit. But it's listen, yesterday was the presidential election. What happened in New York? Okay. Mondami won because you gave him 3 shitty candidates. And they've already been through the Cuomo, and nobody was going to vote for the other guy. Give me a break. It's, come on, bro. So they ended up going with Mondami. And it's kind of, nobody was going to vote for, they weren't going to vote for the Biden-Harris stuff again. It's not that people really wanted Trump. Of course, you have your crazy Trumpies, and I know the cult is there. But the cult wouldn't have got him in. So the people were tired of Biden, and then Harris was an extension. So they just voted for Trump. Not because they really wanted Trump, it's just because they didn't want more of the same that they had the last 4 years. So now Trump will screw it up like he's already screwing it up. You see how all the Dems won, and this is a sign of what's coming in the midterms. And California is going to add 5 more seats, so that's going to create hell for the Trumper. And then what will happen in the presidential election that comes next? It's all like it's like the Dolphins do the same thing. You go from the hard-nosed coach to the players coach to the hard-nosed coach to the players coach, from Democrat to Republican, from Democrat to Republican, and that's just kind of the way it goes. So what are you going to do? It was just like a mess. So if you give the public shitty candidates, all they're going to vote in are shitty candidates. Daniel Levine Cava, you're going to vote in shitty candidates. That's just kind of the way it goes, dude, And so when you're looking at the election, it was 2 shitty candidates, and they were tired of the one side, so they went to the other side. And then now this side will tire them out, and they'll go to the other side, because that's just kind of what we do. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened in New York. Nobody was gonna. What was the name of the Sliwa character with the with the beret. What was the name of those guys that used to walk around New York back in the day? And they weren't cops, but they were like trying to help protect the streets. What was the name of those characters? You know, it's like he's like one of those guys from back in the day. I forgot the name of those guys now. I don't know why I'm brain farting and forgetting the name of those guys that wore the berets and were walking around. No, they're not vigilantes, dude. Guardian angels. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Guardian angels. Costa doesn't have, he doesn't have any history in him. He doesn't really, pop culture to him doesn't really resonate. So yes, the Guardian Angels. Slee was like a Guardian Angels reject. By the way, the SNL, did anybody see the SNL piece over the weekend of Sliwa, Mondami, and Cuomo? That was actually pretty funny. I forgot the actor's name that played the Sliwa character. That's good. That was good. I'm still laughing at some of his comments of why he wanted to be mayor and all that kind of stuff. That was actually a really good skit that SNL had over the weekend on that one. Over the years, SNL still has, it may not be like you may like one era better than the other or whatever, but no matter the era, there are still going to be moments and good skits. Like this weekend, that was a good skit. The one of the husbands where the wife leaves just to go out to do her hair or whatever, and the husband is like completely lost without. I mean, some of it was there. There were a couple of skits. The best way. Let me give you a little tip on how to watch Saturday Night Live. Really, okay. You don't really have to wait till watch it on Saturday night and watch it live. The next day, just go to YouTube and they have every skit on. And then you can watch it. And if they suck, you just go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. And so you can watch and stay with all the good ones. And the ones that are not working, you just skip it. That's the best way to do it if you don't want to watch the show and go through all the bullshit and the commercials and all that kind of stuff. So just a little tip, if you want to enjoy SNL the right way. But that's what happens last night in the election. That's what happens in all these elections. People don't really follow politics. Some are just party zombies or whatever. So they just vote with their party. They just don't really know anything about it or whatever. So, it is what it is. What are you going to do? So, yeah. Have fun. Either way, both sides, all they do is bury us. What else are we going to do? Juan Mendoza says, what am I going to do? Take care of me, my family, because both of these parties don't. Oh, yeah, both of the parties, they just take turns in burying us. One side's terrible, and then we go, okay, well, we'll vote for the other side. And then they completely screw up, and then we vote for the other side. Mondami will be a screw up, and then they'll vote for the opposite party of Mondami, whoever it is. And that's just kind of the way it goes, dude. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like you end up with a good one, So hang in there, man. We're all in the same crappy boat. What are you going to do? It is what it is. You know what's really weird? You want to know what's super weird? Marjorie Taylor Greene is kind of likable. That's weird. It's like all of a sudden she's like talking about stuff that just like makes common sense. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Who is that person? You know what I'm saying? And wow, she's even got the orangutan pissed at her because she's actually talking about shit that makes common sense. Like, wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think I would ever say that. And I got to say, she's actually like said some stuff lately that, like kind of makes sense. I don't know if you guys caught it. Like she was on The View, one place you would never think you would see her. And they asked her about the Epstein files, and she goes, no, they got to be released. And they asked her, why aren't they being released? And he goes, because they're protecting rich, powerful men. I was like, man, all right, good for you, Marjorie. Like, wow. Props. I gotta give her props, okay? Because her and Rand Paul have balls that very few have in that side. That side, they're all puppets and, tools and, schmucks. That's all they are on that side. But there's a couple like Rand Paul and like MTG that, they got a pair. Like, wow. You're like, oh, okay. You actually care about human beings now. You're actually like doing things and saying things that actually would help Americans. Wow, what a concept. So I congratulate them. And I got to say, I'm you know me, I call shit like I see it. Doesn't matter to me what side it is or whatever like that, but I got to give her credit, dude. Got to give her credit. She has gone against a lot of the stupid crap that's going on. So props to her. Jeff says, my house will be going in value. People that live and work in New York will move to Long Island and just take it's by the way, more millionaires live in New York City than anywhere else, and more have moved in than anywhere else in the last year. So New York has more millionaires and billionaires than anybody else in the world. Okay? I mean, I think it's like 34,000 millionaires in New York City. Numbers up from the year before. I mean, the rich are getting super rich now. So, that's kind of what's going on now. There's more of a divide from the haves and the have-nots. The poor are going to get absolutely trashed, and then the middle class are going to get crippled. So the rich are going to get really rich now. I mean, that's kind of what's been happening the last 10, 12 years, and will continue. But it is what it is. Protect yourselves. Get a little Bitcoin. Not that it's financial advice, of course. KC Mad Pup says, please convince me that McDaniel is going to be canned on Black Monday after the season. You don't listen to the show? It's already been talked about. So he's the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley. You can go check it out. And in fact, I just posted that segment on our Twitter page at Big O Show. So you can actually, Casey Mad Pup, go to it and listen to the explanation. And or go you're on YouTube and you'll see it there. What's the name of that title? What proves that that Stephen Ross gave up on McDaniel already or something? I don't know, something like that. You can check it out, my brother. And make sure you hit the like button. Just hit like buttons all over the place. Even if you're not watching the interview, just hit it and hit the like button, walk away and let it play. Yes, sir.
It's where Stephen Ross proves he's done with McDaniel.
Where Stephen Ross proves he's done with McDaniel. That's where you can hear the whole explanation. Andrew Mann says, MTG has seen the light. I'm here for it. Talking common sense. It was crazy. Juan Mendoza goes, MTG actually has American interests at heart. It's crazy. Yeah. Google has nearly 400,000 millionaires living in, is it 400,000 or is it 34,000? Are you sure? I don't know. I'm not going to go with that Google stuff. I don't know about that. Let's see. Sliwa was actually the founder of the Guardian. See what I mean? He's a Guardian Angels reject. You can tell. He's like bro, get lost. That's the problem. You get 3 shitty candidates, and this is what happens. And that's what you had in the presidential election. 2 shitty candidates, and this is what happens. They get tired of one side and they go to the other. They'll go back to the other side next. You saw it last night. Dems blew out the Republicans. And when the midterms roll around, the same thing will happen. And they're going to win that because that's what we do. You know what I mean? And so it is what it is. Yes, sir.
This is found by news agencies. 350,000 millionaires live in New York City as of 2024.
Wow, 350?
60 billionaires.
How many?
60 billionaires.
Oh, 60 billionaires. Wow. It's that many? I thought it was 34,000. Okay. So it's more like 100,000. Wow. Yeah, they lead. They kill it in millionaires in New York. Nobody has more. So, and they keep adding is what they're doing. But the rich are getting even richer nowadays. You know, that's kind of the way it goes. The rest of us that are middle class and lower class, we struggle more. They're excelling more, and we're struggling more. That's the divide that's happening now, and it's a bigger divide, and it's just going to get bigger, unfortunately. It is what it is. Who do I want to see the Dolphins hire as the next coach? Don't know. Don't care. Haven't really looked at it, Andrew, man. Who gives a shit at this point? Who gives a shit? So, don't care, bro. I really don't. I'm not even thinking about general manager or head coach. There's still a half a season left. There's still the rest of the college season left. They haven't done anything yet. When we find out who's finally available, who's making the rounds, then maybe we can find out who we're going to settle for, because I'm sure we're not going to have the best pick out of the litter. You know what I mean? They're probably going to go to another franchise that has it available. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. You know, the guys on Finn's what is it called? Anyway, Jason Sarney asked me that. He asked me about the general manager, and I'm like, I don't know. It's way too early right now. Why bother? You know, that's just. I get for writers and I get for Dolphin-centric sites. That's all they do. So they can come up with, silly conjecture and come up with stupid lists that really, there is no substance to any of them, because you don't even know what men are going to be available, and are they going to be available to you or whatever, and are they worthy now as the same as they would be at the end of the season. So these are things that are going to change all over the place. You know what I mean? So right now, it is a waste of time for me to talk about any kind of general manager or head coach. And quite honestly, I haven't even looked it up. I just don't care. I really don't. Anyway, what else do we have? Remember, boys, if you have to blaze or get laid, let the Big O show play. I like that. Think Blue Dodgers. What else? Lisa says, my opinion of her has definitely changed a bit recently. She was great on Bill Maher. I know, I saw her there, and The View, but she still supports well, she's a Republican. You know what I mean? She's not going to become a Democrat. By the way, Trump was a Democrat. It is what it is. And she works in a Republican-based area, so she gets vote. But at least her and Rand Paul have the balls that most in that party are just tools. Like when I look at Mike Johnson, like, dude, how pathetic of a human being are you, dude? Like, could there be a bigger brown noser in the history of politics than Mike Johnson? Jesus Christ, what a tool that dude is. What a schmuck. So I give Rand Paul and I give MTG a lot of credit for actually standing up for common sense because, the left and the right have no common sense. So I give them a lot of credit. Let's see. What else? Do you get Rozier's take before you bet on the Heat? Yes, I did. I asked Terry, what he thought, and he agreed. Now, Terry also told me not financial advice, so I can't hold it against him. Lord knows he's got enough holding against him. You know what I mean? But he made sure to tell me, just like you say, it's not financial advice. So just in case, can't hold it against me or Terry. I got to look out for Terry. You know what I'm saying? Poor guy's got enough issues. What else? One thing is certain, whoever Ross hires will be wrong. Yeah, sadly. Casey Madpup says, if Ross's daughter and son-in-law run the team like Ross does, there's no hope for this team for the rest of my damn life. It sucks. I will have to enjoy a Dolphin Super Bowl from the afterlife. Yeah. I'm like at a point like, wow, man, I'm not going to see a Dolphin championship before I croak. You know what I'm saying? So, and Oscar, I can't get a blind ass fan alert until tomorrow. Okay. They first have to lose by 10, 12, 15 points for me to get the blind ass fan alert. So just saying. You can't give a pre-blind ass fan alert when it hasn't happened yet. Has to be like, see, you're an idiot for betting on the Heat. They lost by 20, you moron. Then I get the blind ass fan alert. Well deserved. But if you give me a blind ass fan alert now and the Heat win the game or lose by 5, then what does that say about you? Huh? You can't have premature violations here. You can't do that. Okay? So you can't have a premature fan alert. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you're not performing like that in the bedroom because she's not going to be happy. Just say it. Just say it. You've got to wait for the appropriate time. Just saying. Anyway, you never know what direction we're going to go in. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O going with Shambi Campos to Dominican Republic for the weekend for our cousin's wedding. He's going to help me scout women for me. Dominican first rounders. Want to come scout. Me and the wife will go. We'll both scout for you. Because, I got to scout with the wife. It's kind of the way it goes. I haven't been to the Dominican Republic. I got to go. That was one of the places that I was looking at to retire. Because obviously, like I said, the middle class and the poor are going to get killed. So us middle class people, we got to find options because cheaper options to live. And I have already. And the Dominican was on that list for a little bit. But it's in the hurricane zone. So I want one thing I wanted to do is get out of the hurricane zone. So that's why Panama and Costa Rica are now the targets because I'm completely out of the hurricane zone there, which is a beautiful thing. But in the Dominican Republic, you're too at risk. But it is a great place, actually. A lot of potential. Let's see. They say the second shingle shot is worse than the first. Had my first one yesterday and felt crappy today. I disagree. The first one got me a little bit, but the second one did nothing to me. So, no. But you know what, J-Town? Everybody's different, dude. And that's the thing that, when you had the ignorance of of the and you had a ton of ignorance when we were in the pandemic. People were literally dying, and some people, it went through them like a cold. But that's because you don't know people's DNAs and how they're going to respond. You know what I mean? And so it was a pandemic. It was legit. Now, did we have to completely shut down the way we did? No, not really. But whatever it is, I mean, I worked throughout the whole pandemic. So for me, I put my money where my mouth is. I when people were locked down, you can go look at the videos. We were out and doing 3-4 live shows a week. A week, 3-4 live shows. That's when I was working hard. Anyway, so it was real, but you don't know. Like 8 billion people can take the same aspirin, and 7 billion.99 something cannot be affected, but there's a couple of people that had a heart attack or had some kind of adverse effect or whatever. So that's going to happen. And so you never know how a cold is going to affect one person compared to another, how the measles are going to affect one person to another, how whatever it is that you catch, how it's going to affect one person or another. And that's where the shingle shot. There might be one dude that takes both shots and gets not affected. There's another person that gets both shots and gets taken down for a day or two. We cannot answer all of our DNAs. We don't have that answer, and so even science doesn't have the answer to that. So just kind of crazy. Can't predict all that kind of stuff. Mike Johnson hasn't heard anything about last night's. Exactly. He has no idea what went on. They told him that it was all red last night. And that's probably what he's repeating today. Can you imagine what Big Ears would do if the Finns beat the Bills? Yeah, no, definitely. McDaniel will get 2 extensions on top of all of that. So you think, Andrew, they will try to slow it down against Denver tonight? I don't know about that, dude. I think you play your game. I don't think they're a good slow-down team. I think they're a better fast-paced team. I think that's why the coach was pretty good and pretty smart. I think that's why he's doing that, By the way, I see Cutter's Edge Pro there. If you need landscaping, please reach out to our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, William Quigley and Company, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, 954-472-0622. And they do it all, dude. Landscaping, outdoor lighting, irrigation, artificial grass, which ours is like 3.5 years or almost 4 years, and not a blade of grass has gone through it. I mean, it's just amazing, and the dogs love it, and it's really easy to manage. And I never water it, I never cut it, and it always looks fantastic. And by the way, when you add the landscaping and you add the trees and everything, it increases the value of your home, and it also creates a better environment. By the way, also, if you need maintenance for your home, your landscaping, they do it also. If you need to clean out trees and you got them dangling on the roofs or power lines or all that, don't go crazy and start doing all that stuff that's really risky. Call a company that's fully insured. We'll go there with professionals, clean it up right away. And that's Cutter's Edge Pro. 954-472-0622. And tell them that Big O sent you. Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. Please support the amazing sponsors that support us here on the platform. Really appreciate it immensely. All right. Remember, hit that like button. Where are we at now? Come on, man. We got a fraction of the likes. Let's go. Hit that like button. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Another way you can support the show by making a donation, and you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. The Dolphins make no moves, no trades. After making the first trade, we got the crazy nuts out there. Oh, it's a fire sale and all that. And not that anybody ever said it was going to be a fire sale. And this is good for Chris Greer. This is why he got a break. He doesn't have to answer any questions for any of this. So now, people are going after Champ for not making more deals because some of you wanted to make all kinds of deals and trade everybody away. I do not understand the Chubb one. Now, I will say this. Maybe, just maybe, these guys were trying to do what they did with Phillips. They were willing to buy more picks, and people weren't willing to do that. So I don't know what it is, but maybe that's the case, that people weren't willing to go higher and they were willing to buy some of those picks because that's what Stephen Ross would do. He just did it now, paid almost $6 million for that third-round pick, which is insanity. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. This is who this owner is. But listen, I don't even know who's going to be the coach. I don't know who's going to be the general manager. I don't know what direction this franchise is going in. So I don't even, outside of the Chubb one, I don't have a problem keeping talent. I didn't want to really trade Waddle. I knew nobody was going to give up a first rounder. That's silly. That's crazy. It's just insane to want to give up a first rounder for Waddle. I certainly wanted to keep Waddle and Achane because if by chance you end up with a top pick and you can get a quarterback, you're going to need that quarterback. What have we talked about for years? You don't support your quarterback. Doesn't matter if it's Marino, it doesn't matter if it's Tannehill, and it doesn't matter if it's Tua. You have failed to support your quarterback. Again, I don't know who's going to be in charge. I don't know what the plan is. Can't answer that because we're talking about an owner that does all kinds of illegal stuff, lies, misleads, and is incompetent. So it's really hard to get a good read on what Stephen Ross is going to do. But when I look at the big picture, yeah, you could have made a trade, but and with Chubb, but I'm glad that you didn't with certain others, because maybe, just maybe, for once in your last 40 years, you can stop making the same mistakes over and over and over again. I'm just saying maybe. So if you are going to draft a young quarterback, make sure he has an offensive line. Make sure he has a running game. Make sure he has talent around him, because no quarterback can carry you by themselves. No quarterback ever does. No quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl because he was the one carrying the team. Just does not happen. We've had several Super Bowls where the team carries the quarterback. That's happened many times. But what never happens is no quarterback carries a team to a Super Bowl win. None. Some of them overachieve and get there, but they never win because you need the team. So I'm glad. I disagree with some of you out there that want to get rid of Waddle. You already have him. You already gave him the bonus. You got him for a few more years. He's a damn good receiver. Is he a number one? No. But he's a veteran receiver, established. He can play. And if you do draft the Indiana kid or whoever, help him out. Do the things that you've never done for all your other quarterbacks. Help him in every way possible. Give him an offensive mind on the sidelines that knows how to complement him. Give him the talent that he needs around him in order to succeed. Because if not, we will continue on the hamster wheel and we will continue the failure game. So there's a part of me that I'm glad they didn't dump certain players. And at least that. I don't know. Again, as Joey would say there is no plan, because we are talking about Stephen Ross. But from the periphery, that's all I am. I'm in the periphery like you guys are. I'm glad a guy like Waddle and A-Chan weren't moved, because just in case. All right. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always. Toyota of Hollywood, by the way, is a proud sponsor of our program. Herbie Lopez and company. We will be there on the 19th, by the way, broadcasting live, having some fun at Toyota of Hollywood. The Camry LE sedan, $299 a month right now, 0 down. They've got over 2,000 vehicles, over 1,200 new vehicles in stock. They've got no payments for 90 days. They've got 2.75% financing available for 4 full years with 0 down. I mean, the selection is second to none, and the convenience is the best in the business. You know, when Mr. Zinn built Toyota of Hollywood, he went to a level that few have ever seen. He made it a superstore, and then he made it where all your cars are under roof, floor after floor after floor. So if you're going to go check out a 4Runner, you're going to see a ton of them. A Camry, a ton of them. A Prius, a ton of them. That's pretty good. Okay? A Tundra, ton of them. It's awesome. So it's pretty cool to see a large selection of Toyotas. So that way you pick the car you want, the style you want, the model you want, and of course you're going to get the price you want, because they are the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. They are kicking everybody's ass in the Southeast United States. No need to drive around the Southeast United States. Just get on down to 1841 North State Road 7, right there on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Tell them that Big O sent you, Herbie Lopez and company at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. John Padilla is checking in from Richmond, California. New company, new job today. By the way, small businesses are getting mudded. Wow, it's a shame, dude. Shame, big time. The tariffs are killing small businesses. The unemployment rate every month for small businesses is a shocking number, a scary number. Small businesses are getting killed. They are shutting down all over the place, man. Real shame. Big O fact. Eventually, some fans still don't understand how football teams win championships. Well, we don't. Our team doesn't, and some of our fans don't either. So, let's see. You don't win building around one player. You know, you got to build the team. And that's where we have failed. That's where Greer, Tannenbaum, look at Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson won Super Bowls, and he got here and he stripped Marino of every weapon and every and audibles to give him an option. So, okay, so now you crippled your offense because he wanted to control it. So that wasn't your problem. Your problem was that the offense needed a running game, and all you could give him was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 1-yard touchdowns. You know, just funny. It's really hilarious. Let me trade my Pro Bowl receiver because that makes sense for my aging quarterback. We've done everything ass backwards. Wanstead was the one that had the most complete team, but he couldn't find the quarterback because he did have a running game a couple of times, did have a defense. Line was decent enough. Wasn't a great line, but it was decent enough. But unfortunately, you never found the right signal caller to make the difference in everything. Like, my man Fiedler was all right, but he wasn't franchise material, you know. So he can only do so much. Not his fault. He is what he is, you know. And he's a gamer and all that kind of stuff, but he just wasn't good enough. But it's just we're ass backwards at everything. Doesn't matter if it's Greer, if it's Tannenbaum. It doesn't matter if it's Jimmy Johnson. It doesn't matter if it's Dave Wanstead. It does not matter. Nick Saban, whatever. It doesn't matter. No. Just we end up making all the wrong decisions on how to build a team. Even the people that were successful, like Jimmy, Saban, and Parcells, did not succeed here. Which that's the part that makes you want to think, are we cursed or something? So how do Hall of Fame people come here and they fail? Those are 3 Hall of Famers. One's in the College Football Hall of Fame for sure in Saban, and the other 2 are NFL Hall of Famers. And they're all Hall of Shamers here. We have the Ring of Honor, and they are in the Turds of Honor. All 3 of those guys are in the Turds of Honor. It's crazy. But that's who we are, man. That's who we are. Anyway, what am I going to do? What are you going to do, right? We can't change any of it. By the way, Bitcoin trying to make it a 104 now. When some dude on DM goes, so you're getting nervous, though, because you talk about Bitcoin all the time. It's falling to 100, maybe 99, and it was like at 101, 100 at that point, and it did end up going to 99. I bought, and I go to the guy. I go, are you an investor? And he goes, no. And I go, well, I've been at it since it was at 16,000. So if I didn't flinch when it went to 67 and dropped to 16, do you think I'm worried about 127 dropping to 99? Come on, dude. You know, so it's not, I'm not worried about it. I'm celebrating it and I'm buying, you know. I know it's frustrating for some because they don't have the patience, but those aren't really investors. If you did your homework, you'll be fine. You'll know what the outcome is. So Dolphin Day, Big O. If I'm the Dolphins, I would draft Trenches with the first 3 picks. Tom Stockel, talent downfall began when Mike Robbie took Beathard's job. We shouldn't have let Mike Gesicki go. It doesn't matter if your head coach doesn't use him. You got to let him go. I mean, when you pay $11 million to Mike Gesicki and your idiot coach doesn't use him, what are you going to do? You brought in Akini, who had 9 touchdowns with no quarterback last year, and you can't implement the big receiver. Like last couple of weeks, at least they've tried. So, you know, they're starting, but why wasn't it from the beginning? And when you talk about tight ends, like Gesicki, didn't you see what he did with Waller? Waller was only available to you for a couple of games, okay? Because he was himself, injured before, injured after. It's what he is. But the few games that you had him, you didn't even use him to the max. So keeping Gesicki or having Waller or having Jonnu Smith, which the first month of the season last year, he didn't use Jonnu Smith that much. And then all of a sudden the light went on and, oh, maybe I should use my tight end. Yeah, of course, moron. You should use your tight end. This is a really stupid coach, dude. What are you going to do? This is the stupid coach that on Sunday used 3 running backs, and then 4 days later against a physical team in Baltimore, he decided that 2 running backs would be good enough and let me leave Jay Wright inactive. This is one stupid mother effer, bro. Mike McDaniel's level of stupidity is king size. Not minute, king size. So you can't win with a moron like that. This is the moron that forgot the down in a playoff game. I mean, that's all. You are the offensive coordinator, and you did not know the down. Absolutely unacceptable. But tolerated for years. So that's all you need to know. Hey, as Jack Jones would say, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. That's what Jack Jones would say. Did you guys see? Did you see the Jack Jones comments, Sean? Go to my Twitter page. And I posted it probably 2 or 3 days ago, so you're going to have to scroll down a little bit, Sean. But you guys should see that video of Jack Jones, fresh off the trade of Jalen Phillips. And those comments were shots at the team. And the line that he said, folks, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Because, and then he goes on to talk about a lot of fake people out there and all that. It's one of those where and this is a guy that just got here. So you know that he's getting a read of the room and he's hearing the stories and then he's reacting off of everything. And then the Jalen Phillips trade happens. And you got to remember, Jalen Phillips was building a house here and all that kind of stuff. Here's Jack Jones expressing himself.
I got a quick little message, man. Go where you celebrate it and not tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a lot of fake love out here, man, in different forms, in different ways, in different shapes. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all go where y'all celebrate it and not tolerate it, because there's a lot of people who going to be acting like, and they'll put on that mask, you heard me? They'll put on that mask. So go where you celebrate it, man. You know what that feeling feel like. Go where you winning. But they treat you like a king or a queen, however that shit go. Whoever listening to this,
First of all, Jack Jones, put on your fucking seatbelt, dude. Okay? Let's just start with that, because you're talking into a video and you're driving, because I see the shit moving in the background. First thing, put on your seatbelt, okay? And there you go. And folks, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, because there's a lot of fake love out there. So I wonder, did somebody tell him, since he plays on defense with Jalen Phillips, did he say, man, I was building a house here. They told me they weren't going to trade me. I wanted to stay here, and now they trade me, and I got my wife, and I got this is like what happened to Luka Doncic, who was building a $100 million house in Dallas, and they traded him to Los Angeles. This guy just had is going to have a baby, building a house here, wanted to stay here, and now you're trading him. So I'm just wondering, a lot of fake love that Jack Jones was saying. Go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. And I'm with him on that, by the way. I'm with him on that. I can relate to that shit, because I was dying to get out of QAM, and I found a way out, and I knew there would be a way I can push buttons and push the right button, and I got out because I was tired of being tolerated too. So I'm glad, and it's been the best 6 years of my life getting away from this, like garbage business as it is. So there you go, folks. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Tom Stocko says, always buy the dips and dollar cost average your way to prosperity. Eddie Lepp says the past 20 years, no O-line, no tight end, no QB, no coach. You can't succeed without those foundations. Freaking men. Let's see what else. McDaniel should coach in Canada. Only 3 downs to track. I like that one, Tom. Question: if Tua needs more chemistry, trust with Westbrook, is it on McDaniel for not creating an environment or strategy to get them more acquainted? Should Tua do more? He can't do more on his own. He can't call plays, dude. He doesn't call plays. He has a check with me system. So if you call a pass play for this person, the check with me is a run play off of that. That's if he gets the play in on time that you can check out of it. Okay? He doesn't have an audible system. He can't just audible out of a play and no, I think the tight end is better or Westbrook Akini. It's the coach is calling the plays. And Tua's following what the coach wants to do. It's not on Tua. Has nothing to do with Tua. Big O, regardless of his game day decisions, I still respect him but you can say that was the last straw for me. We would have kept it close with Wright. He gets respect back in with a win against Buffalo. Wow, you have the lowest that has been the worst part about us being a terrible franchise for 30 years. That it has forced so many of you to lower your standards. He gets respect back with the win against Buffalo. That would be a fluke win. Why would you get respect back? You're the guy, my pocket potato, that would give Joe Philbin an extension off a win against the Minnesota Vikings in a meaningless game. Anyway, Phillips said he didn't want to be anywhere else other than Philly. Well, yeah, that's when he gets there, dude. Of course he's going to say that because he got there. He's with the best team in the league, Fangio. He actually hooked up with Fangio. Then he was one of the guys that got along with Fangio, clearly. So, of course, he's going to say that there, but he wanted to stay here. He did not want to go anywhere. Nobody wants to build a house. Your wife's having a baby, and then all of a sudden you got to pick up and go. It's not that simple, dude. Okay? You make it sound like these people aren't human beings. They are. They have lives. So he did not want to leave. Believe it or not. He actually wanted to stay in the city. It's not so much that the team's a shithole, but the city is awesome. So he wanted to stay here, and he was here at school, and so he really liked it here. It looks like he met his girl here, right? He didn't want to go, but he's glad. I'm sure if he's going to go anywhere, Philadelphia would be perfect to go to. It's a great team. He's going to be with a great defense. It's going to complement him. What a concept. So, if we are smart, you keep Tua and put someone behind them for a year and then try to trade him. Yeah, I just hope for Tua they let him go. I hope they let him go on June 1st. That's what I hope for. Because whatever is left of his career, he shouldn't sacrifice it in this shithole. Since they don't know what they're doing and they don't really know how to help their quarterback win, no quarterback is going to succeed here. They're all going to die here. So I would like to see Tua get a shot somewhere else before he runs out of gas completely, because he's closer to it now. What else do we have? Not for Philbin, me, more like coaches and front office waiting for lights. Now there ain't no lights are going on here, bro. So it is what it is. Anyway, what do we have? Oh, the man, the myth, the legend is ready to go. Let's go. Hour number 2 is underway, and Manny Navarro will kick it off with our Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
Doing good. Went for my annual physical this morning. So,
we lost you. You out. You started like the first two words that I'm going to have my physical, and then it went out.
Should be better now. I hit mute by accident.
Yeah. Stop. Hey, listen, what you shouldn't do, you shouldn't be playing with your mic in public.
That's what it is. You're absolutely right about that.
Mic in public. You know, I went my physical, and then you played with your mic, and then it went off right there.
And then, I tried to adjust it, and that's what happens. What can I tell you? So, I was just saying, I went and did my annual physical. I'll get the results in a couple of weeks. I did my blood work today, so we'll see. We'll see how good a year it turns out to be for me or not.
All right, let's go. I know you're playing a lot of pickleball and stuff, so you're exercising a lot more, so that's good. Yeah. That is good, my man. All right, what's not good is the Hurricanes, obviously, and we talked about it in our post-game wrap-up last week when they ended up losing. This week they got an easy game against the Cuse, but it's kind of everybody's kind of trying to pick up the pieces from last week, and it just – when you hear Beck talk at times, we're running the same plays or, things, there just seems to be a disconnect somewhere on offense.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, just as a follow-up to that, like a part two to that, besides the disconnect on offense, was there that disconnect last year, but Cam Ward's ability to make chicken salad out of chicken shit a lot of times, did that mask what is going on now because you don't have the same kind of character that can bail you out at times when things don't go well?
I think it's a combination of things, though. I think part of the reason why Miami was so aggressive last season with Cam Ward is Mario trusted him. Kid came in and proved himself as a number one overall pick in the NFL draft, played like it almost every single week. And I think the second part of that is there was also a desperation because the defense was so bad that you almost had no choice but to let Cam cook, so to speak. And I think in this team, after what happened against Louisville, the way Beck played against Louisville, I really think that instead of allowing him to continue to go out there and make mistakes, they reined the offense in. And they just said, we're going to win with defense, right? We're going to play a more conservative approach. We have a good enough defense to win these games. And it's really what we saw Mario do a lot of when he was at Oregon. It's sort of the repeat behavior. Even though he had a great quarterback at Oregon as well, decided to play a more conservative approach. Last year was sort of the exception to the rule. And I think it was a combination of things. Again, I think he was forced to because the defense was so bad. They had no choice but to let Cam play aggressive. And I think the other part of it was he had a special quarterback that he trusted. And I think the trust was broken with Carson Beck. And what you're hearing now is a lot of frustration. You're hearing a guy who thought he was going to be allowed to play the way Cam Ward was, and he's not.
Can he?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think he's made a lot of mistakes. In terms of in this game, he actually made some throws that he played well. He's played better since the 4-interception game. But I think the fear with Beck is just he's had a history of interceptions. Like last year at Georgia, he made mistakes too. He was over aggressive. And I think this is an overreaction by Mario to one game against Louisville. And I think he feels like our defense is good enough. I don't have to put it on my quarterback. And I think, unfortunately for him, hindsight is 2020. And now you go back and you look at SMU and you say, he needed to throw the football more. We couldn't be as predictable as we wanted to be on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2. And we needed to take some more chances downfield. And we needed to try to score with 30 seconds left at a timeout. We needed to try to get a field goal range to give our kid a chance. And he went into Mario mode, which is, let's just hide behind our offensive line and try to win that way.
Have you talked to anybody in the administration off record? Have you been able to talk to any big-time boosters off the record? What are they saying? Because obviously a lot of us, yours truly, is kind of at a point like, yeah, Mario's not the dude, bro. I mean, he does everything else right, but on game day, somehow or another, he has his brain farts and he can't get it done. And like you even said it right now, that a lot of the shit that's gone on in Oregon is happening again. And I get it on my timeline all the time. People from Oregon going, oh, you guys are finding out what we knew over there, this, that. And so I'm just wondering what the people above, because I know they can't make any changes for several years. You know what I mean? They're not going to eat a bunch of years. So what are they, any concerns or anything out there?
I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily concerns in the sense of like, hey, we need to hit the reset button. Mario isn't the guy. I don't think anybody is feeling that way in any sort of power structure over at Miami. But I think there is a lot of frustration because they've given him everything he's wanted to this point. They've fired.
No coach has ever had this. None.
No. And so, I think the questions that are arising now is, well, what do we do in 2 years or 3 years if we're still in the same situation? Because we're not supposed to be, right? Like, I think everybody knows this roster, this one here with Maui Noah and Bain and some of the older, those guys are going to leave to the NFL next year. You're gonna take a step back, so to speak. You're gonna have some big holes to fill.
You had a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback last year, and you couldn't even get it,
right,
dude. That's pathetic.
Yeah, people are frustrated. They're angry. This is not what they paid for. There's certainly not a sense of happiness, right? Like, I think there's a lot of damn it, like here we go again, and that kind of frustration. But I think, again, I've said this to you many times on this show with you. A lot of the reason that money came in, it's because it's Mario who's in charge. Okay, those are people who wanted to support Mario, who wanted to be there for him. I don't know that the university creates the same amount of money for somebody else who's in charge. And so, you kind of have to ride with it. And certainly they've made strides. Look, you can't sit here and say this is the same program. Even if they still haven't won an ACC championship or made a playoff, you can't sit here and say it's the same program, because from a talent perspective, he has made them better. The problem is now you got another area to improve, and that's winning on game day. And that's still the ultimate hurdle. And so when he gets there, how he gets there, it's going to be up to him. Does he need to change the offensive coordinator? I don't know. I think a lot of people feel like they do. I think he just needs to let his offensive coordinator do what he wants and be more aggressive.
And
because obviously Shannon Dawson was able to do it last year.
Yeah, and it starts to get to a point where it's tiresome. You need to change another coordinator. Like, yo, dude, can't you get it? You know what I'm saying? So if you can't get it right, then you're the problem, not your coordinators. That also starts to get a little tiresome too. If it's a coordinator, it's a coordinator. No, dude, you're the freaking problem. You're the damn problem.
I think it was evident that the defense needed a reboot. Because they're playing on a different level now. They're playing a lot smarter.
Yeah.
Even in spite of the Lightfoot penalty, which was really Mario's fault. You don't call timeout right before the snap when your defensive ends are trying to get to the quarterback on 4th and 9. But I think the defense has figured out, the offense. I don't know, man. I feel like Shannon Dawson would probably be a little bit more aggressive if Mario wasn't telling him, hey, let's make sure the quarterback doesn't throw picks. Let's be a little bit more conservative. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, well, Mario better change his ways, dude, because, everybody wants to see him succeed because he's the Miami guy. We all know he wants it more than we do.
Yep.
Duh. I mean, I know he's hurting. I get all of that, dude. But just these decisions. And the problem is, the real problem with Mario Cristobal is it's all habitual. It's all repetitive. It's not like he ever learns. And that's the problem, that a lot of the shit that we saw at Oregon is continuing to happen here. So he has not gotten better. And by the way, in his tenure here, he has not improved because he continues to have his talent has improved. He has not improved because his teams continue to have the same kind of brain farts, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think if there's a couple of areas that he needs to address, number one, you need to go out and get some guys that can run block. I think when you look at this offensive line, as talented as they are, I think they went for full pass protection, which if you're going to run the football, you need to put some guys at center. James Brockermeyer, if you watch the tape, I see him getting pushed back a ton. They're trying to run through the A gap. That guy's not winning the majority of his battles. Making a change on the offensive line, I think, is an important part of it. I'm not saying with his coaching staff. I'm saying with some of the personnel that he gets. I think that's going to be important if he wants to continue to run the football, because I think that's an issue.
All right. NIL wise, since of course this is the Big Cheese NIL and recruiting segment. Miami has been flipping recruits, which is a talent right now considering the results. Who could be next?
Yeah, I think one guy to look out for is DeAnthony Lafayette. He's an edge rusher committed to LSU. I know Kane Sport and Rivals is projecting that he's going to flip. He is a top 40 edge rusher in the country. It looks like Miami's really making a strong push here to help beef up their defensive line some more. Obviously, they got to replace Ruben Bain next season. Probably have some guys on this roster that are going to be hitting the portal who just never got on the field and got a chance to play. So, they're in it for a lot of defensive linemen. You look at some guys who are going to be coming down for this weekend. Carter Gooden is a UCLA commitment. He's from Massachusetts, 6'4", 260-pound defensive lineman. A guy that, was in strong position to sign with Penn State. They got some other guys. Isaac Chikrura, a Penn State commit, another 6'3", 260-pound edge rusher out of Delaware. And then a kid, Logan Nagel, New Jersey, 6'5", 270-pounder, committed to Pittsburgh. All of those guys are supposed to be coming down this weekend to see Miami play against Syracuse. So, trying to beef up the defensive line. And to be honest, that's between Ruben Bain and Mesidor and some of the other guys that have been getting in there, that's been a real strength, and it's important to capitalize and continue to recruit guys at that position.
Yeah, and bring them down for the shitty games. Yeah, that way, we can
so they can win him.
Yeah. The pick game is on the road, right?
The pick game is on the road, and I'm going to tell you that quarterback, Mason Heinschel, is the real deal, man. That guy is a freshman. They've been playing at a different level offensively since he took over. Now, Pitt has to play they got a bye week this week, but they come back and they play Notre Dame, and they play at Georgia Tech, then they play home against Miami. So if you're looking for somebody to help Miami's cause, it's Pitt. They go out and knock off Notre Dame. They go off and beat Georgia Tech. That's going to help Miami, because then it sets the stage, if Miami takes care of business, to beat them the last week of the season and try to get themselves back into the playoff race. So,
or you can look at it that Pittsburgh is actually playing a team that's actually better than Miami and Georgia Tech, and game stretch that's going to prepare them well for Miami.
Could be, yeah.
Not good. Okay, so that's that even if they beat them or not, or play a tough game, and you're Miami, you're going to go, because that's the only game I fear. I mean, if you lose any of these other games, you should get fired. I mean, not that they will, but that's a fireable offense if you lose the next couple of games here, because those are crappy teams. But the Pittsburgh game, because it's Mario, it's a game you fear.
Oh, absolutely. That's the game right now. And look, NC State just finished knocking off Georgia Tech at home and putting up, a boatload of points. It was 46 or 48 points NC State scored.
You knew that was going to happen with G-Tech, right? You knew that they were going to get tripped up on some bogus game because they were just dominating. It was just like, okay. So you knew that was going to happen. But still, having said that, they still are better than Miami right now, because that coach has done more with less than Mario has. So
yes, and you look at the team talent composite, right? Which is what everybody looks at when they say, "Oh, how good is your coach? What kind of job is he doing?" Let me see where Georgia Tech is for the season. I had the number up earlier.
They actually have to hit the books. They're never at the top end of the talent pool. They can't be.
No, I'm trying to get the number up here. Where is Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech's 39th. Miami is Miami's roster's 15th. The best ones are Indiana 72, BYU 70, Virginia 62, Louisville 50, Vanderbilt 55, and then Georgia Tech 39. All those teams ahead of Miami in the college football playoff rankings.
It's crazy, dude. It is absolutely insane what's going on here with Mario Cristobal and the underachieving. All right, what do you got going on since you're always overachieving over there at the Athletic? What do you got going on?
Well, I got my oddly specific predictions that will be coming out on Thursday. I got a piece on all 10 of the top Heisman contenders, kind of a where are they, where they came from type piece. Fernando Mendoza is a great story. Local kid out of Miami, Columbus High School, 2-star recruit, ranked 140th best quarterback in his class, and he's number 2 for the Heisman. And then, of course, Julian Sain, the quarterback at Ohio State, was the quarterback for the South Florida Express, who we get to hang out with and see quite often down here. So,
you got
interesting story.
Mendoza number 1 in the country right now for the draft. And do you have I know he hasn't declared or anything. Do you have the Alabama kid number 2?
The Heisman.
No. I'm talking about draft. I'm just talking.
The Ohio State kid can't come out yet. He's only a second-year player, so the Ohio State kid can't come out till next year. But Mendoza's high. Yes, he's right now, I think, projected by some of our people as the number 1 quarterback in the draft.
I said Alabama. Yes, Ohio State. Exactly. Yes.
The Ohio State kid is is also in the running for the Heisman, but he is also one of the top kids. Yes. I think Ty Simpson is probably right there with Mendoza. It's just a matter of who does better, I think, down the stretch here of, and what NFL scouts like more. Simpson's actually the son of the head coach at UT Martin.
Oh, really? So, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Some people may think he's number 1 over Mendoza.
Yes, they do. They do.
That's the crazy part about that right there. But those two, for me, are the best quarterbacks. Like, I would take Mendoza. Any of the other guys, I don't know if I'm Miami and I'm sitting there at 3 and Mendoza's gone. I don't know if I'm taking a quarterback. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, the Simpson kid isn't coming out. Because that's who's the other guy that I would want. That's
just ridiculous accuracy. Saying, I mean, granted, he's throwing to NFL receivers at Ohio State, but he's also a phenomenal passer.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I care about the accuracy. That's what I care about. Then again, if you don't surround the kid and you don't take care of him, he'll die. Look at Andrew Luck. He's a tree trunk, and he was like, no, dude, I'm done with this. Injury, pain, rehab, injury, pain, rehab. I'm done with this. That was a classic line of his, and so you got to take care of him. And if you do draft him. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work, because he's, like I told you, it's not overachieving. It's that he writes like 400 articles a day. I don't know how he does it, but you can check it out there at The Athletic. 400 articles a day. I mean, really, AI doesn't have shit on this man. It's amazing, really. Seriously. Manny, much love, my brother. We will catch up on Saturday after the Q.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Take care, brother.
You got
Appreciate
it.
you.
And, of course, visit our friends at Big Cheese, BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, 305-662-6855. By the way, they've got a beautiful patio now that you can rent out up to 40 people. So if you want to have your own private party, birthday party, anniversary celebration, a work, something that you want to celebrate, a employee of the month, or maybe you just want to take out your employees and it's under 40 and you want to treat them, you can actually call the Big Cheese at 305-662-6855 and rent out that patio. And remember, we've got the holidays coming up, so the party platters are available. So if you got a party event that you want catered, they can cater your event. They'll deliver. You can pick it up. any dish can become a platter. 305-662-6855, BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
All right. Mike McDaniel is addressing the meteors and asked about Chop Robinson concussion protocol. He says, I'm worried about him getting back to his full steam ahead. What does that mean for timelines? Your guess is as good as mine. A week turnaround can be challenging, Mike McDaniel. So in other words, you will not get Chop today. Okay? Or this week. So there you go. Let's see. And Barry asked who made the deadline decisions this week. McDaniel said the people involved in those discussions were Champ Kelly, Brandon Shore, and McDaniel, communicating with ownership directly. Don't you love it when they're using Stephen Ross? So there you go. We're all in agreement for the moves we did and didn't make, McDaniel said. What can I tell you, folks? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. You need custom printing and embroidery? Give them a ring. 786-618-1443. The Ducks, they pounded the Panthers 7-3. The Panthers are 6-6-1. They will take on the Kings on Thursday on the road. Tonight, the Miami Heat are on the road for their third game of this road trip. They're in Denver, and the Nuggets are favored by 9. The over and under is 241.5. The Heat are plus 300 in the money line, and Denver's minus 400 on the money line. Saturday, hosting Syracuse, and favored by 29.5. The over and under is 45.5. Saturday at 8 o'clock, Inter Miami will be hosting Nashville for Game 3 of the playoffs. The winner advances. The loser stays home. Inter Miami minus 200 on the money line. Nashville plus 425. Also on Saturday at 7 o'clock, the Fort Lauderdale United will hit the road, and they will visit the Carolina Ascent. You can catch the game on Peacock or on Channel 10. Dolphins and Bills at 1 o'clock on Sunday. We'll have the pre- and post-game show for you. Bills are favored by 9. Over and under is 50. Bills minus 500 on the money line. The Dolphins are plus 375 on the money line. And trading deadline came and went yesterday at 4 o'clock, and the Miami Dolphins made no moves. So outside of the Jalen Phillips move, that was the only move they made, and that is our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Okay. What else do we have here going on in the press conference? What else? Omar says Mike McDaniel, Champ Kelly, and Brandon Shore made the trading deadline decisions, communication with ownership directly. Sounds like Marvin Allen has either been removed or stepped aside. Interesting, of course, because it's what I told you. It's not. Omar is figuring it out now, but like I told you, Marvin Allen, McKenzie, and Greer were together, and the fact that McKenzie left and Allen did not get the job, it shows you that Allen did not want any more part of what was going on in this mess. So he wants to distance himself like McKenzie did. McKenzie knew what was coming, and he left to Tennessee in a rebuild. People aren't willing to talk about that kind of stuff. It's crazy. What else do we have? if there's anything good from the press conference. McDaniel, let's see. Coaches and players have to adjust to the fishbowl that is the National Football League. I'm sure some guys have thoughts and feelings. The unknown is the greatest source for stress. Okay. Whatever. All right. You know what? Let me have a little fun here before I get back to sports. Let me do a little music on the side here. What the hell? What the hey? What the ho? Let's see. Here we go. Let's start off with people born on November 5th. Musicians born on November 5th. Kevin Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, born in 1987. Jonathan Greenwood, lead guitarist and keyboardist for Radiohead, born in 1971. Bryan Adams, Canadian guitarist, singer, songwriter, record producer, born in 1959. He's gonna run to you. Mike Score, Flock of Seagulls, born in 1957. David Moise from Air Supply, born in 1957. Helen O'Hara, a member, a violinist for Dexy's Midnight Runners from 82 to 87, their heyday, born in 56. Peter Noon from Herman and the Hermits, born in 1947. Graham Parsons, born Ingram Cecil Connor III. He was a member of the International Submarine Band, the Byrds, the Flying Burritos, and he was born in 1946. Loretta Holloway, born in 1946. Disco songs like Hit and Run and Love Sensation. Didn't Loretta Holloway also have a song called, look it up for me, Hard Time for Lovers? Because here they have best known for disco songs Hit and Run and Love Sensation. But I want to say Lolita Holloway also had a song called Hard Time for Lovers, or maybe it was somebody else. Maybe I got it mixed up. But check it out for me. Tell me if Lolita Holloway sung Hard Times for Lovers. Good song, too, in the early 80s. Let's see who else. Art Garfunkel from Simon and Garfunkel, born in 1941. Ike Turner, born in 1931. Ike and Tina, and Roy Rogers. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Born in 1911, Roy Rogers. All right. Sean has not found that nugget yet. Now let's go with other birthdays, other famous people. Remember, if I don't give you the age, yes, sir.
Is it actually Long Hard Climb to Love?
No, it's called Hard Time for Lovers. The song is called Hard Time for Lovers. It's from the 80s. Yeah.
It doesn't look like she sung it then.
Okay. All right. So then I'm wondering who sung Hard Time for Lovers.
Studio album by Judy Collins is what I'm being showed here, if that's the right one.
Definitely not Judy Collins.
Okay.
Definitely not Judy Collins. Now, maybe
Jennifer Holliday also did it in 1985.
That's it. It's Jennifer Holliday. So Lolita Holloway. Okay, so that's what it is. So I got the names mixed up. It's Jennifer Holliday. That's the one. That's Hard Time for Lovers. Now, you know what? I don't know if that's a remake. So it might be hers. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a remake of the 1979 folk album by Judy Collins.
Okay, see, it might that's the part I can't answer. But I don't like the Judy Collins one. Give me that one. That one's a good one. There you go. And if you like a little disco freestyle, all that, Hard Time for Lovers. Good song. Good song. Actress Vivian Lee, born in 1913. Who else? Writer, actor Sam Shepard, born in 1943. Hall of Fame member in basketball, Bill Walton, born in 52. TV personality, Kris Jenner, born in 55. She's 70. Actress Tilda Swinton, born in 60. She's 65. Actor Tatum O'Neal, or actress Tatum O'Neal, born in 63. She's 62. Actress Frankie Jansen, born in 64, 61. Actor Sam Rockwell, born 68. He's 57. Actor Luke Hemsworth, born in 80. He's 45. NFL player, podcaster Jason Kelsey, born in 87. He's 38. Odell Bum-Ass Beckham Jr., born in 92. He's 33. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Alexander Wolf is... Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh. Wait.
Just refreshed. It refreshed.
Oh, God, it refreshed those bastards.
Alexander Wolf is 39. Allison Kay turns 38. Jackson Andrews is 46. Savannah Evans turns 38. And the great Roxanne Perez, she celebrates her 24th birthday on November 5th, 2025.
Roxanne! All right, let's go with music history because, of course, you all want to know what happened today in music history. Well, in 66, the year I was born, the Monkees were at the top of the Billboard singles charts with Last Train to Clarksville, the group's first #1 and my favorite Monkee song. I can listen to that song in a loop. Love that song, dude. Love that song. In 82, Susie and the Banshees released their 5th studio album, A Kiss in the Dream House, and it features the singles Slow Dive and Melt. In 82, Madness, One Step Beyond, released her 4th studio album, The Rise and Fall, and it features the singles Our House, In the Middle of the Street, Our House, and Tomorrow. In 82, Phil Collins released his 2nd studio album, Hello, I Must Be Going, and it features the singles Through These Walls, You Can't Hurry Love, I Don't Care Anymore, oh, I Just Don't Care What You Say. Don't Let Him Steal Your Heart Away, I Cannot Believe It's True, Why Can't It Wait Till Morning, and It Doesn't Matter to Me. In 84, Bryan Adams released his 4th studio album, and today is his birthday. So he released an album on his birthday in 84. Nugget. Reckless. And it features I'm Gonna Run to You, which was an enormous hit for him. Somebody, terrific. Heaven, and Summer of 69, One Night Love Affair, and It's Only Love. You think he's talented? Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. In 84, I love her. Alison Moyet released her solo studio debut, Alf, and it features Love Resurrection, which is a great song, Love Resurrection. All Cried Out, Invisible, and For You Only. In 88, the Beach Boys went to #1 on the U.S. singles charts with Kokomo, the track that had featured in the Tom Cruise film, Cocktail. And of course, she was in it. Her. Blonde. Come on. Who am I talking about? Elizabeth Shue. Ooh. Elizabeth Shue, for me, in those days, just beauty. Perfection. Just, wow. Anyway, we continue. What else do we have? In 2010, Keith Richards' autobiography "Life" was at number 1 on the New York Times hardcover nonfiction bestseller list. Anything Stones sells. Their fans are loyal and their fans are rich because they're old. Let's see, what else do we have? Any birthdays that I forgot or not forgot that weren't on those lists, but sometimes here they sneak one in. Brian Wheat of Tesla is 62. See, that wasn't on there. Angelo Moore of Fishbone is 60. Pretty cool. There's a couple. And that's it. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. There we go. By the way, if you're a Queen fan, Queen's weekly series, The Greatest, returns for a special 5-part mini-series to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Bohemian Rhapsody. Released on October 31, 1975, the song was the lead single from the UK's 4th album, A Night at the Opera. The first episode, The Path to Bohemian Rhapsody, sees Brian May and Roger Taylor exclusively recall how the song sent shockwaves through the music industry, taking everyone by surprise. Everyone, that is, except the band, who by this point had become well used to Freddie's extraordinary flights of fantasy. You didn't know where Freddie was coming from, May said. He comes in and goes, there's this bit, and then there's another bit, and then we'll do, and then there's an operatic, and then there's another bit, and then we'll do, and then, okay, oh, all right, Freddie. And basically you have two choices, either going, well, we're really not feeling it, which we sometimes would do, or we'll all dive in, and the whole Queen machine swings into action. It's interesting. Bohemian Rhapsody is viewed as a giant step for Queen's creativity, but from the inside, it didn't feel that way. It's one of the threads of Queen in our development. So if you're a Queen fan, you may want to watch this series. All right. There you go. By the way, what did you all think of the Colts gamble? They are definitely all in with Daniel Jones. And it's interesting because if you're a good coach, you know you can win a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones. It sounds scary. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like watching Marjorie Taylor Greene make sense. Right? Odd. But you won with Trent Dilfer. You won with Peyton Manning when he couldn't throw for 10 yards. Right? So you've won with quarterbacks that aren't very good. Nick Foles ain't shit. I don't know how this is going to work out with Sauce. They're already a pretty good team. But if the Colts can somehow manage the game in a way where the key, remember, Bob Greasy won a Super Bowl by throwing 7 times only. So if your team is well balanced, the Washington Redskins will win the Super Bowl with Doug Williams, with Joe Theismann, and with Mark Rippon. None of them are Hall of Famers. Okay? So you're going to be, you can win Super Bowls with quarterbacks that aren't great, but you've got to make sure that your team is well balanced. You certainly have the running game. You have an offensive line. Is your defense good enough? Is your head coach good enough? A lot of those answers seem to be yes. And we'll find out if their defense is good enough when it's all said and done. And adding Sauce, well, I'm not going to blame his play that this year has not been as good on him. Maybe it's more about the environment that he's in because he is with the Jets. And the Jets are a joke. So if Sauce Gardner is the player that he has been in the past, and if the Indianapolis Colts can play a balanced brand of football, this crazy gamble could pay off for them. Not that any of us saw this coming. None of us expected the Colts to be this good. We probably all thought that the Colts were going to be mediocre, but they have found a balance. And part of that balance, if you've watched those games, it's not that you're putting the weight of the world on Daniel Jones. And that's what you're doing by making this trade. If he is that difference maker, which is a lot to give up, look, if you get a championship out of it, it's all worth it. If you get to the Super Bowl, and you're going to be a contender from here on out, it's worth it. We're going to see if this gamble pays off. But I will tell you this, I'm not a Daniel Jones guy, never was a believer of him. But the way they have him playing now, I will admit, you can win Super Bowls with guys like this as long as your team is well balanced. So we'll find out if this gamble pays off or not, because it's kind of crazy. Yes, sir.
Tom Bogert just put out an article that Luis Suarez will be suspended for Inter Miami's pivotal playoff game due to an incident in Game 2 of the first round series. So,
when he went after the referee.
It doesn't say which incident. I just saw that.
Yeah. He probably said something stupid to the referee or something. Bro, Suarez is just a scumbag. He's just a scumbag. That's all, dude. But hey, listen, it's Messi's boy. This is what you want in Messi. So if you lose on Saturday, okay, this is your team, your players, your coach, your general manager. So I don't want to hear shit. All I know is win the MLS Cup or shut the F up. Not just get out of the first round. No. Win the MLS Cup. The amount of money they're paying you clowns, and you're not producing jack shit because Messi hasn't produced jack shit. The only thing this is a money grab and nostalgia for our Argentine community. The Moss brothers have connected with nothing in this community when it comes to the team. They hired a bunch of mercenaries, and the only people that give a shit about the entertainment is the Argentine community. That's it. And they're only there to see Messi. They don't really give a shit what happens to the team if they win or lose. They just want the novelty of being able to see Messi. That's all it is, dude. And that's all on the ownership. But hey, man, you made your bed. So we'll see. And if you lose again, it's a disgrace. Yes, sir.
Looks like it was from a off-the-ball incident in the 71st minute. He kicked out at Nashville defender Andy Nahar. There was no foul called or card issued on the play.
Oh, okay. All right. So we didn't even see that incident. Wow. He's terrible, man. He's terrible. Ray says, classic album by Alison Moyet, great singer from the UK, of course, formerly from Yazoo. That's right. That'd be right. Big old Last Supper in Miami. Do I do Hillstone, Ruth Chris, or Flanagan's before my trip to make my decision? I don't know what the hell Hillstone is. So I can't even answer that. How badly do you want Ruth Chris? You know what I mean? It all depends. Now, if you're looking for some ribs, I'm going to Flanagan's. Flanagan's. Going to enjoy the ribs. Yeah. And a little, I always love their seafood gumbo soup at Flanagan's. I can replace that guy whenever he wants to retire doing the commercials. I can do the Flanagan's. I can do it. What else do we have here? The quarterback will coast the Colts. No way I do that. I think you say cost will cost the Colts. Is that what you're saying? Hillstone is Houston's restaurant in Coral Gables. Oh, that they took over the Houston spot in the Coral. I don't know if it's any good. Have no idea. Probably is, right? If it's on Miracle Mile, you better be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So I have no idea, dude. You know what? I don't think you can lose. Go to any of them. That's what I say. Go to any of those, and you'll be fine. You'll be good. I see Bitcoin trying to make it now to 104, trying to make its climb back, which is the inevitable. Not even worried about it. Eventually it'll happen. It's good for some of you that got in on it. That I agree. By the way, I know there's a lot of talk, but and nobody knows what's really going to happen because we have a terrible owner, and we have an owner that really doesn't know what he's doing, and he does stupid things. Like even that third round pick for Jalen Phillips, you purchased it for $6 million. It's just kind of stupid, but whatever. It is what it is. It's his money, not ours. So, if you have people that know what the hell they're doing, I don't mind. But when you don't, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But it is what it is. I will tell you this. I none of us know exactly what's going to happen, but I think what we are going to do is we're going to get a turn the page type of moment where you're going to get a new general manager, a new head coach, and I believe a new quarterback. Because I think they want to, or Stephen Ross wants to turn a fresh page. And if you bring back McDaniel, you bring back baggage. If you bring back Greer, you bring back baggage. If you bring back Tua, you bring back baggage. So I do believe he will be a June 1st cut, and they will part ways with him. I really believe that because once you draft the young quarterback, you can't have both in the room because it's just going to be a mess. And any bad decision or bad throw by Tua, you're only going to be clamoring for the young guy. So you're better off letting go of Tua and bringing some veteran that can start or something like that in his place or something. You're almost better at that. So you can just move on from the mess. I just think they're really going to turn the page and take the cap hits that they're going to take, which is $67.4 million this year in 26 and then $31.8 million in 27. And then you move on. I think that's what you'll do instead of going through the whole mess. But we'll see. Who knows? Nobody knows because this owner doesn't know what he's doing. So it's hard to kind of, have a positive outlook for anything that's out there. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button whenever you're watching the show. Okay? Por favor. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you for tuning in. Tomorrow, we will be back in studio, correct? Are we in studio the rest of the week? I think we are, right? I think we are. Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.